Meditate, manifest, invest in you. Join me on my spiritual journey as I elevate myself and like-minded listeners to a higher level mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thank you for listening. This is Black Hippie Lounge, and I am your host, Chanel. Good evening. I hope everybody is having a good week. And today is Thursday night, so almost the weekend. We're almost there. And I'm ready for it, just to relax, not have work. So I hope everyone is doing well and taking care of themselves, whatever that might look like. So this episode is titled H.O.E. H.O.E. And the meaning behind that can be different meanings, but in the context of this episode, it's happiness over everything. I got that from H.O.E. She has a new song out. That's the title of the song. H.O.E. Happiness Over Everything. So that's a song that she did before on her mixtape back in I forget what year it is, but the mixtape was called Sailing Souls. It's a good mixtape if you haven't heard it. And she actually has an album coming out tomorrow, so definitely looking to get that. So the reason why I chose that title and the basis behind it is going to be talking about self-care and introducing the idea of healing. I definitely want to talk about that. But also, just really quick, I just want to say that I've gotten some feedback from the first episode, which has been really helpful. So thank you for everybody who sent me feedback and things that they want to hear and talk about, and just ideas for me to continue with this podcast. So I really, really appreciate that. Shout out to you guys. We're gonna get right into it. Happiness over everything can mean a lot of things. For me, like I said, I'm in this transition period, so happiness over everything to me is just like choosing things that make me happy over whatever society or family or whoever thinks that I should be doing. It's more about making sure I do what makes me happy, and having that mindset will bring me happiness. Making choices to do things that I like without any type of motive behind it of making somebody else happy, or thinking I'm gonna find somebody or something at a certain location or event or something like that. Just doing things that I want to do. And focusing on self-care. I think that's important for everybody to do, no matter what's going on in your life. You have to take care of you. At the end of the day, you're responsible for yourself, and you're responsible for your own happiness. Definitely, there's so many different ways to practice self-care. And with self-care, you can heal yourself as well, because even if you are in a good space, there's always something to heal or work on with self. You're always evolving, at least you should be. And if you aren't, you might want to, try to evaluate why, because nobody should be stuck in the same mindset or just space. Every day you learn something new, you grow, or you should be growing, and always be open to growth. Made me think of that gif from Insecure, and she's like, you know what that is? Growth. But yeah, just growing, and growing is scary, and healing is scary, because you're shedding all of these things of yourself that no longer serve you, and that can be scary sometimes for people. But the unknown is necessary for you to reach the next step in your life, so don't stop. And just try to achieve that happiness for yourself. You're not expected to always be happy. Obviously, you're a human being. You're gonna have those days, but trying to adjust to how things are in your life. Kind of like what I said before in the first episode, like, don't think about why is this happening to me, but what is this trying to teach me, and how I can use it to develop myself, so that when something like this occurs again, or something similar, I know how to handle it in a way that's not gonna mess up my flow, so to speak. So yeah, self-care can be so many different things for so many different people. I know for me, it's like sleep. I love sleeping. Or like eating, making sure you eat. And it sounds simple, but we're adults, and like, you have work, you have school, you have all these different things going on, where sometimes you really, you're so busy, you don't eat right, or you're not making time for yourself to just sit down and eat. Because even if you're like, for example, say you're working and you have a desk job, if you're eating your lunch at your desk while you're on the computer doing stuff, you're not really taking a break for yourself. You have to let yourself separate from the computer, sit down and just like eat and digest your food. That's self-care. Even if it's like, taking a break and going outside for a quick walk and getting some fresh air, that can be self-care. Exercise, meditation, therapy, wellness checks, like, those are forms of self-care that I try to practice myself, and I think it's important for everyone to try to figure out what works for them that would be considered self-care. It could be so many different things. Everybody's different. Certain things make certain people happy or calm, or can recenter you after being in stressful situations, or life is always going to throw some type of curveball at you. So just practicing self-care is important. And just trying to find out what exactly it is that makes you happy. Kind of like what I said in the beginning, it's not about what other people say you should be doing, it's about what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, your life is your own, and you're the one who has to experience what's going on. So 9 times out of 10, if you're doing everything that your parents say, or grandmother, or whatever, or your friends and stuff like that, yeah, it can make you happy, but only you know what makes you happy, and only you're the one who's feeling and experiencing it. So it's great to take advice, but you still should focus on things that make you happy, and figuring it out for yourself, and being able to stand on that. When I say stand on that, it's like, own it. Like, you know what, I appreciate your advice, but this is what I want to do for me, because this is what makes me happy. Like I said, I feel like a lot of people in general, but even in our generation today, we have so many things on our plates that it's hard to balance what you're supposed to be doing versus what you want to do, and finding that balance is definitely somewhat of the key to happiness. Whether that be your career, especially like making sure you're doing something that you love to do. You should be waking up every day happy to go to whatever job you're going to. And if you're not, then, taking those steps to get to that point where you are. And self-care can be also like, it's something I'm learning, don't put a timeline on your life about where you're supposed to be at this age or that age. Like, everything is in divine timing. So no matter how much you try to make something happen at this age, or by my 30s I should be doing this, or by 25 I should do this. Like, it's great to have goals. I'm not saying not to have goals, but self-care is also loving yourself and not being hard on yourself, and taking that time. And it might sound corny, but like, take that time to pat yourself on the back and thank yourself for getting through another day. Thank yourself for getting through this week. Like, oh, you know what, I had tests this week and I had, my car broke down or whatever, but I made it through. So thank you. Thanking yourself for keeping your composure or getting you through a tough situation or a great situation. Congratulate yourself. There's so many different ways to show yourself appreciation, to create your happiness. It could be a manicure, pedicure, go to the barbershop, get your hair cut, get a massage, take an extra nap. I love that. If you've been eating healthy for 4 or 5 days out of the week, then get a cheat day, or sleep in, on a Saturday if you can, or whatever makes you happy. Just try to do that. And also being around people who make you happy. Don't, like, if that's something that I've learned growing up, like 20s and now and then 30s, like, make sure you're around people that support you and make you happy. Don't be around people just because it's the cool thing, or trying to, like, I'm not saying you can't be in the social scene, because I feel like that is something that, people want to do. I want to do that too. But just make sure you're in the scene that you're feeling that you can be yourself and appreciated and accepted, because that's taking care of yourself too. You don't want to have to adjust yourself or who you are just to fit in with other people. Like, that's something that has to be learned, but I feel like everyone should try to do that. Vibrate higher, because that's what you should be doing. Focusing on you and what makes you happy. So being around people who make you happy and people that bring out the best in you, because if you're around people that bring out the best in you, then you're going to be happy being your best self, and it's going to force you to grow and to just keep evolving. And that's the whole point of you living. Like, you should be evolving, like I said, and the people around you should be evolving, and your evolution and your growth should not scare people or make people want to run. If they want to run, open the door, let them go, because their time in your life is up anyway, and it's not to be rude. It's not a bad thing. It's just, all right, cool. Like, you played your role. I appreciate the memories and the lessons you being in my life have taught me, but if you're not here for my growth, then I wish you well. And that is a hard mindset to have sometimes, because you create these ideas with people or these goals with people, and sometimes it just doesn't work that way, and that's okay too. So, right, just being okay with that, being okay with how things are, accepting how things are. And happiness over everything also is like figuring out what makes you happy. Throughout life, what makes you happy will change as you get older. Experiences and your likes, your dislikes, what you have going on in your life is going to impact what makes you happy. Like when you're younger, maybe going out and like hanging with your friends and doing whatever it is you guys like to do, that might be your happiness. But then as you get older, it's like, all right, well, I don't mind hanging out with my friends, but I'd rather just like chill in my house and clean and watch TV and just like veg out or something, or like watch a good movie. That like can be your form of happiness. Or getting a good workout in, that could be your happiness too. So yeah, just continuing on that journey of figuring out what makes you happy and doing it and not worrying about what people think. That's another way to reach your happiness. You have to do what works for you, always. And if people don't like it, oh well, they'll be all right. They really will, because the people who really love you and they really care about you and really want your happiness, they're gonna support you no matter what. Even if they don't agree with it, as long as it's not something like crazy, like, okay, this is going a little maybe extreme, but like if you're like, oh, I don't know, doing meth makes me happy, like, okay, then that's a force. Like no one should be sitting by like, oh yeah, go for it, like that's different. But if it's something like, okay, maybe you're like, oh, I like to go swimming, or I like to do this, or I like to listen to this kind of music, or whatever, you like, whatever makes you happy. If someone maybe doesn't agree with it or understand it, that's okay. But as long as they're like, okay, well, you know what, I respect that, then that's what the type of vibe and people that you need to be around you. Basically, it's like people who are going to support your well-being and your growth and just making sure that you're happy. That's the type of energy and people that you need to have in your life. And finding that is hard too sometimes, because it's not always, even, one would love to be in a perfect world where, yeah, my family, they support my happiness, or my friends, they support my happiness, but that's not everybody's life. Some people have family members who thrive off of you not having everything that you want in your life, or succeeding, or getting to the next level, or you being happy. And usually 9 times out of 10, family, friends, whoever it is, it's because they're not happy in their lives. And it's okay for you to recognize that, not internalize that, and just be like, all right, well, I'm going to pray for that person. I pray that they reach this level of happiness that I've reached to. That's okay too, to pray for someone else's happiness, because everybody has their own journey and everybody goes at their own pace. That's something also that people, or at least I know for myself, that I had to learn, is that my journey is my own. Don't compare and contrast to what other people are doing. Just enjoy what I'm going through and make the most of it. Especially when you have things like social media, and just like as you get older, you have friends and whoever else in your life that might be hitting certain milestones that you haven't reached yet, and you're like, you can go into like panic mode, especially if you have like family members who are just like, oh, you should be doing this by that age, or why aren't you here, or something. And it's just like, all right, well, I hear what you're saying, but you only have so much control over your life and how it goes, and you just have to trust that God is directing you where you need to be, and where you are is where you're supposed to be. You might not understand it where you're here, but there's a purpose for everything that happens in your life, and you should try to focus on, all right, well, what is this trying to teach me, and how I can use it in my life right now and moving forward, so I can remember what the lesson was, so that the next time a scenario like this or something like similar happens, I know exactly what to do. And that's what life is about going through the journey, experiencing the good and the bad, appreciating the good and the bad, and living life, being happy. Yeah, definitely. Just live your life. Live your best life if you can. Because you only got, as far as we know, you only got one life, and life is short. And, people say it all the time, but it really is short. You never know when is your last time. So appreciate the people in your life that make you happy. Appreciate the things in your life that make you happy. And appreciate yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you've been through so much already. You're still here. Put your hand over your chest. Like, if you still got a heartbeat, you still have more to do. You still have more to contribute to this world. So, look in the mirror, smile, and congratulate yourself for getting this far. And don't forget that you still have a lot to do. Take your time and make sure that you're doing things that make you happy. Because, like I said, happiness over everything. You don't want to look back on your life and be like, dang, like, I'm doing all this, I did all this stuff, and what has it got me? Because that's kind of like comes off unappreciative, even though you're not being unappreciative. You're just trying to understand, what happened. And usually that's because you're doing what somebody else said you should be doing, or you're following this like life path that is supposed to bring happiness. But you're also supposed to learn, like I said, what makes you happy, because that can look different for so many different people. And once you know what makes you happy, do that and keep learning. You can keep learning. There's so many other, there might be certain things that make you happy, but then you discover this other thing and you're like, oh, okay, I like that too. So just being open to different sources of happiness is important too. But yeah, just love life and appreciate what you have and keep striving for what you want. That is like the main goal, at least for me right now. It's happiness over everything and making sure I'm getting to where I want to be internally, spiritually, emotionally, just becoming who I'm supposed to be. And that's ever evolving. That's, there's not one stop destination. Things are going to change 5 years from now, 20 years from now. Like, things, it's always going to change of what's going to make me happy and what my life is going to look like. So just being able to adjust is important. So yeah, like I said, in conclusion, this episode is H.O.E, happiness over everything. So begin to think about what self-care looks like to you, and try, if you can, to do at least one thing that makes you happy once a week, or once or twice a month if you can. You can get your friends or whoever to go with you, or do it with you, or do it by yourself. Being able to be happy by yourself is also important too. Just putting that out there. Learning how to spend time with yourself and still be happy. That's very, very crucial and very important to your growth, spiritual growth, because you're responsible for your own happiness. Remember that. Other people and things can add to it, but you should still be happy on your own, or know how to make yourself happy on your own. That's important too. And that takes time. It's not something, I'm not saying that you should, if you don't know how to make yourself happy, then your life is over. I'm not saying that. It's just it's a process to learn, definitely, and it takes patience, and it takes time, and it takes trial and error. But don't stop and keep trying to figure out who you are. And that's ever evolving too. So be okay with that also. Be okay with growth. Be okay with things changing and accepting yourself and where you are in life, and keep going. Don't ever stop. Things might get tough, but you're strong. You're a strong person. You're stronger than you think 9 times out of 10 also. And sometimes situations will be put into your life to make you realize that too. And you have to appreciate those moments as well. And just use it as a lesson and keep going. So to end this episode with a quote, the quote is, "The most productive thing you can do is relax." And to me, that makes sense, but it's hard. It's hard. Like I said, as an adult, we have so many things going on in our lives and things that we want to accomplish and achieve. And sometimes for people, relaxing is, okay, yeah, I'm going to sit down and watch a TV show or, take a bath. But like, if you're doing those things, but you're still preoccupied by your phone, or you're trying to still juggle all these other things, then you're not really relaxing. So sometimes it is okay to just tune yourself out, turn your phone off, and give yourself, even if it's just a half hour, give yourself that time to disconnect and be one with yourself and become in tune with yourself. And that can be through meditation, like I said, a nap, it could be prayer, or therapy, even though that's not by yourself. But therapy can be a form of self-healing, because you're able to talk to somebody and they can give you perspectives that maybe your family and friends or those who are close to you can't really give, but in a way where it helps you to pick apart your way of thinking or way you do things, in a way to kind of readjust to what can work for you where you are in your life right now. So yes, like I said, the most productive thing you can do is relax, and try to relax. Even if it's, like I said, if you can give yourself a half hour or whatever you can give yourself, try to focus on doing that and see if it changes your week, day, month. I would definitely suggest that, and starting to get into the habit of that, because it can definitely make a positive impact in your life, and you'll be able to just handle certain situations differently too. So yes, that kind of concludes this episode. Like I said, it's called Happiness Over Everything. Go cop that Janae CD too. It comes out tomorrow, March 6th. She's a Pisces, and I love her vibe, but Pisces are cool. My brother's a Pisces. Shout out to him. But yeah, we're in Pisces season now, so it's gonna be a lot of emotions coming out, and just happiness. It's kind of why I did this episode too. And also, I want people to start, if you have like a question or a comment or a topic suggestion, or someone who might be interested in being on the podcast, definitely please, if you can, email me or message me, like DM me on Instagram. I have an Instagram page for this podcast. It's at Black Hippie Lounge. And you can email me as well. It's blackhippielounge@gmail.com. That's all together. Black Hippie Lounge. HIPPIE Lounge @gmail.com. You can email me questions, comments, suggestions. I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, any feedback that was given to me from the first episode and any feedback that can be given going forward, because I really want to do things that the listeners want to hear. So yes, please remember, practice self-care, happiness over everything. Cop the album, email me, DM me. Yes, I really want to hear what you guys have to say. And don't forget to manifest, meditate, and invest in you. Thank you. Meditate, manifest, invest in you. Join me on my spiritual journey as I elevate myself and like-minded listeners to a higher level, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thank you for listening. This is Black Hippie Lounge, and I am your host, Chanel.